Hi, I'm Dave Skow from Wagga Property Management, and this is my favourite story from my 17-year real estate career. It only happened a couple of years ago actually, where I had a phone call from a prospective landlord saying we've just purchased a new investment property, or my elderly mother has actually just purchased a new investment property, and we've been given your name and number and told to call you because you can manage it for us. So we made an appointment to meet at the property, and I had a look through and gave them an idea on what I thought it was worth price-wise, and the elderly owner called me up and said, "Oh, look, we've actually found our own tenant, and we've decided that instead of charging her your appraisal price, which is $390 odd a week, we're going to lease it to her for $230 a week." And I thought, this is a bit odd. I don't really understand why you would purchase an investment property, particularly as an older owner, to only rent it out for sort of less than half, or about half of what it might be worth on the open market. She bought the property because her house cleaner, who was an African migrant who had been in Wagga for a couple of years, had been having a lot of trouble where she was living. She was living in a really average part of Wagga, paying $230 a week quite comfortably, and had never missed a beat, but had been broken into a couple of times in recent weeks, and Pat, the owner, just couldn't stand for that. She decided that in her heart of hearts she would buy her a property that she could afford in a much better area of town, a much bigger home that would accommodate her and her children at the same rent that she was paying in the ex-housing commission house that she was living in. Not only that, when I got talking to the tenant, she had come to Australia and come to Wagga as a migrant from a war-torn African country, and hadn't seen her husband for about 10 years and thought that he was dead, and assumed that he had been captured by the militia and killed like so many of her friends and family and other relatives had been. With the help of Pat and her family and the Multicultural Council at Wagga, she was able to put the word out via social media about her husband, and they were reconnected just after she was approved for this house. And it gives me goosebumps still to this day that he had actually not been killed, and he was held captive for a number of years and had just been released, and they now live together in this house for $230 a week, while it's worth $400 a week in Wagga, all thanks to the generosity of our owner Pat. We come across so many owners that are tight and don't spend money on repairs, or have a conniption when they find out that there's been a cat inside that they didn't know about. So initially, when I heard that Pat only wanted $230 a week for this house, I thought she was mad. I thought she was this old demented lady who didn't know what she was doing. And it wasn't until we found out the reasons behind that I really thought to myself, I shouldn't have judged that. I shouldn't have thought, you don't understand what you're doing, old lady. She actually had a heart of gold and a real reason as to why she wanted to help. The same with the tenant. If I came across her coming from a $230 a week house, I probably would have thought, well, look, this is all you can afford, and this is your lot in life, unfortunately. But then to hear her backstory really was moving. It just goes to show that we really can't take anything for granted. We certainly can't judge anyone, landlord or tenant, before we know the full depths of or the background of their story.